Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be in a place we haven't been in a while, and that is the greenhouse. So an outstanding project that I started last year and I have yet to finish is the floor. And so I don't know if we're going to get finished today, but we should get really close. And the only thing that should stop us is going to be if we have enough material. So, wow, it's warm in here. The nice thing about doing work in your greenhouse in the middle of winter is that it's warm if you got a sunny day. Our fan there is set to roughly 78 degrees or so, and it's running, so it's actually comfortable in here. But let me show you what we're going to be working on today, and then I'm going to go get materials. So if you were with us last year when we started, I have all of these bricks that were left over from building the house, and I started laying brick with sand and I've scored landscape fabric underneath. So I've got enough landscape fabric there. I've got more bricks here. And then if we come on outside, I got a stack there. So the only thing I've still got to go grab is some sand, which I left a couple extra bags over by the front, by the garage. And we'll get started and we'll see how much of this we can get done today. And while we go, I'll tell you why I chose the brick and why I think even just a little bit helped last year, and I think finishing it will be a big step this year. Okay, so per usual, we got to pivot. It is still, well, we're about the end of February. I'm trying to get that done because we're going to be getting started with our starts sometime in March. But you'll notice we still got a little bit of snow on the ground. And that presents a problem on the north side of the house, which is our driveway. So got a little bit of snow covering the drive. Problem is this. That right behind the kids' toy there is my two piles of sand, and they are frozen completely solid and to the ground. So I don't want to risk busting the bags open, and I'm guessing because the sand is wet, it's a literal block of ice and it's stuck to the ground. So don't know what that means yet, but let's go see if we can't at least start getting some bricks laid, and then maybe I can bring the sand in there and pour it later. Or maybe I've got a bag of sand still in the greenhouse. Probably should have put those in there. But either way, the nature of homesteading, you gotta be able to pivot and be flexible, and yeah, see what we can do. All right, so here's what I've decided. At the very least, I still got to level out the ground here. So I started down that side. I need to continue filling in the middle here. And I don't have landscape fabric covering this side of the greenhouse floor. So what I need to do is get this cleaned up a little bit and get that landscape fabric rolled out, and then I can start laying out my bricks. So I can at the least get them kind of spaced. And then once my bags thaw, I'll get those in here and we'll pour it. So I'm going to use my hori to clean some of this out because I have clover growing. So we'll get some of this sand up out of the way. Make some progress. All right, so let me tell you a little bit about some of the setup in here, because you might be wondering what in the world's going on. It's kind of crowded in here, if you will. So these are 30-gallon barrels, and they're the same barrels I used to water the pigs, but they were extras that I picked up when I bought those. And so they've been in the greenhouse with water in them for, well, almost a year now. And they're just there to help retain heat. So water helps hold the heat for quite a while. When you got large volumes, it helps. So I've done several things for winter time, or maybe we'll call it early spring growing. So I haven't really overwintered in the greenhouse. It's just too much work in my climate, I feel like. Plus, this is a Harbor Freight 10 by 12, and these aluminum frames with the plastic windows and stuff in them. They're not bad, but it's a lot of work to try to do true full overwintering and really help seal these up to where they're airtight, maybe not the right word, but tight enough that you can hold heat. So we do that enough where on the cold nights we can retain heat through the evening, but not try and do it like in the dead of winter when it's, single digits or colder. That's what those water barrels are for. And so I've done a couple things to try to help these drafty greenhouses hold heat. One, of course, is the water barrels, and of course, the floor. So brick will hold heat for quite a while, just like stone and gravel. In the winter, when you get snow in your driveway, or if you got a paved driveway, whether it's paved or gravel, it really doesn't matter. You'll end up getting, when it starts to get sunny out, even if the temps are below freezing, a lot of times your roads and driveways and stuff will thaw. And it's because that gravel and stuff picks up heat really quickly. So that's why we're putting bricks in here. So you've probably seen a lot of people put like pavers in the greenhouse, or they'll put like a full like platform and stuff. The reason I chose bricks is because I have access to it. And so the only thing I really had to buy is the sand. Now it is taking, shoot, I don't even have count at this point, but I've probably bought 15 or so bags, and it'll most likely take me close to 20 to completely finish it off, because I'm not using the sand that compacts and gets really, really like hard. This is more like a playground sand so that it will drain. So I went back and forth on that. I think it's better that you have a floor that's going to drain as opposed to one that's going to get really hard. I'm not going for like a perfectly, level floor. I just want it to be level enough that I'm not tripping over bricks and stuff. So that's why I chose to do mine the way I'm doing it. And, if you've got a different way or different considerations, I'd love to actually know, because one other benefit of this is it's not permanent. So if I decide to ever pick it up, I'll have a really nice sand bed in here, and I could probably put gravel or something else. So, yeah. So let me give you another reason why I think this flooring setup is going to work great. So as you can see, getting them laid out is fairly simple. And again, you don't even have to have any like bricklaying experience, so to speak, because none of this stuff's getting like mortared in. And if you do have kind of low spots in your ground, which I should probably back up and say, it is kind of important that you take some time to get a fairly level ground, or spend a little extra, buy more sand, and put an entire base of sand. That might be the best route. It'll certainly be the easiest. And if you got the little extra money to spend, honestly, it's probably the easiest way to do it. But the good news is you're laying these, you can use a scrap piece of wood. Let's see if I can grab mine out like this to get, you know, decent, consistent spacing. And then you're just going to pour sand in the gaps. And if you notice that you've got a spot that's kind of up and down, just pry up on the brick a little bit, let a little sand get in on one side, and it'll help level it out. So, and then this stuff will settle. That stuff that's in the back there, that's packed really well. Now, there are some areas where, as kind of moisture and stuff has gotten on top and water and things, it's settled even more. So I need to add some more sand to get it, you know, completely flush, if you will, so that there's not gaps between the bricks. But I don't have to worry about those bricks going anywhere. I can walk on them, stand on them. Heck, I've even put the ladder up on these bricks. They're not going anywhere. So, yeah, give that a try. Okay, I got it unfrozen from the ground. But that 50-pound bag of sand is a lot more than 50 pounds when it's soaked with water and frozen. We'll go see if I can get the other one, because they'll thaw pretty quick in this greenhouse. And maybe I'll be able to start filling these gaps. All right. I got to accept defeat because I can't get that bag up off the ground. It is frozen. So we'll have to come back to that one. But I did want to give a little tip. If you're putting the brick in and you're working with the multi-purpose sand or the playground sand like I am, the best thing to do is to make sure that the sand is good and dry before you dump it out of the bag. So give it a couple days to dry out if it has gotten wet, and spread it when it's dry. I mean, you can pour it while it's wet and brush it around, and then as it dries, you'll notice huge gaps in between the bricks. And that's going to happen a little bit anyways. But if you'll let it dry first, it pours down into the cracks a lot better, and it's a little easier to spread. And I am going to take a little bit of a break, and I'm going to go over here because the chickens are out sunbathing. What's up, ladies? Y'all enjoying the sun? You enjoying the sun out here, girls? And Petey? He'll start crowing at me in a minute. Nothing? Y'all are usually quite noisy. That's okay. As wet and cold as it's been, it's nice to have them out on grass where it's not like complete frozen ground. So, because today's the first day in about, I think, 3 or 4 days. There it is, where we've actually gotten above freezing. And I just thought I might come over here and check on Lucille's spot and make sure it's still looking okay. And as I walk by, I realize I've still got all this to clean up. Guys, it's going to be March in like 2 weeks. And March is, at least for me, like garden prep time, like real garden prep, doing seed starts and you know, kind of getting the garden ready. I'm going to, fingers crossed, get my hands on some topsoil and some compost. So I've got to start with the topsoil. I've got to top off these beds where they've settled down a little bit here. I would really like to build another bed or two, but I just don't know that I'm going to get to that this spring. But I really need to get some topsoil and you know, some sort of either fertilizer or compost on the garden. Help work up that clay we've been working on for the last couple of years. Hey guys, welcome back. It's a new day and I'm working in the greenhouse again. And it's actually a really nice day today. The fan's running, which means we're probably over 80 degrees in here. It feels really nice. I think we're at like 55 today. So our sand finally thawed out and dried. And I've got the other bag over there thawing out now. I finally got it unstuck from the concrete this morning. And so we're going to start sweeping this and see how much progress we can make today on our floor. A little boring to watch probably, so I'm gonna skip ahead and keep laying some more of these bricks. But if you notice, when the sand is a little wet, it's kind of clumpy. And even though, and let me actually show you this, even though it looks like all these gaps are filled, this is still very loose and not packed. You can see how easy that is compared to an area like this, which is good and packed. So that will pack in once I put some water on it, but I don't want to do that yet because right now it's kind of keeping it stable and I need more sand. So I'm going to continue working on this, and I'll show you guys progress in a minute. All right, so you can see we got quite a bit done. I'm not focusing under the table right now because I don't have to worry about stepping under there. But we've gotten all the way to here. Had to empty this thing, which is why there's water all in here. It's too heavy to pick up and move, so I just dumped it. But it'll all drain out. The sand will continue to dry, and as it does, it will settle into those cracks. I'm about as far as I can get without getting more sand. So we're going to have to probably going to go ahead and buy 10 more bags. May not need 10, but I could always find use for sand. I'm sure the kids won't mind if I throw it in their play set. This is all the bricks I've got left. So I don't think that's going to be enough. I have a few more scattered around and I might be able to scrounge up enough to finish. But if not, my mom's got some more, so I can always go back and collect there. And there's a whole pile of them around this compost pile, which has not been managed super well as a compost pile, but you know, it's better than throwing your food scraps in the trash directly. Anyways, I think that is all we're going to get done today. I've got some other things I need to do, and those don't include driving to the store and buying sand. So I'll have to find a day to go get those, and I'll let you guys know. But for now, that's the gist of kind of putting a brick floor in your greenhouse. Like I said, it's easy and cheap. I've only been working on that floor today, and what you saw in progress today, for probably maybe 45 minutes. And honestly, some of that was hindered in as far as like how quick I could go, just based on trying to make sure you guys could see it. So I wouldn't stress the amount of time and effort. You just got to have the materials, and even that's not super expensive, especially if you got access to free brick. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you have a blessed day, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.